residing at Sector 29 Vashi, and hailing from Pune. She has received no formal education. The history was given by patient herself and seems to be reliable. Chief complaints: there is a lump in the left breast for last 6 months and slight loss of appetite since 1 month. Then HOPI: my patient was apparently all right 6 months back when she noticed the lump in her left breast while bathing.
Okay,
Initially, it was
just a minute. You're presenting this as a short case or a long case?
as a long case, sir.
Okay, okay, fine. And the second chief complaint, that is a loss of appetite, is it a significant complaint that you are including it into the chief complaint?
Yes, she specifically mentioned that she could eat around 3 to 4 chapatis per meal before prior to that, and now she feels like eating only one. So, like she specifically mentioned that. So,
Okay, okay. See, remember, what we are trying here is making the case into a model case, right? So,
yes,
for
sir.
example, breast lump, it can be a benign or it can be malignant. That is fine. That
Yes,
will
sir.
come to the conclusion later. But, and of course, some patients may be having some other comorbid factors or some comorbid complaints too. Now,
Yes, sir.
important is whether that is how much connected to your case and how much deviations can occur for you, that you have to make a note of. So just
Yeah.
make sure that it is going hand in hand with the chief complaint, that is the lump in the breast.
Yes, sir.
So if anorexia or other things are going towards some other issues, some esophageal component and some other component, neuropsychiatric or something, then unnecessary your case will get deviated from the
Yes,
main
sir.
path of breast. So that is why again I asked you that whether it is uh, nicely correlating, then you please mention it in the chief complaint. Remember, chief complaint has to be absolutely specific, not just because patient is saying, but because you want to present in that particular manner. Otherwise, when you mention that loss of appetite is a chief complaint, of course, in the ODP, you have to elaborate more on that loss of appetite. And there
Hmm.
are possibilities of many other questions not
Yes,
related
sir.
to breast that will creep in. So,
Hmm.
please be aware of this possibility and accordingly you can present. But still, if you want to continue in the same manner, absolutely okay with me. You continue, please.
Okay, sir. HOPI. My patient was apparently all right 6 months back when she noticed a lump in her left breast while bathing. Initially, it was approximately of the size of a coin and has gradually increased to the present size, which is approximately the size of a lemon over a period of 6 months.
Okay.
The lump is painless. There is no history of trauma. There is no history of fever, cough, or night sweats. There is no history of change in size or pain in relation
Wait,
to
wait,
the menses.
wait. Now you have started the history of etiology, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now in the ODP, you have now have you removed the other chief complaint or you missed it? And
So
again,
actually,
you
I
need
was
to mention more about the lump in the ODP. What has happened? You have mentioned that it is painless and it is present since 6 months and it has progressively increased, correct?
yes, sir.
Now anything else you have to mention in ODP?
So so in onset duration progress, we'll want to notice about the approximate size of the lump, and then if it is static or it's progressive, if it's associated with any pain or not, or if it is like the duration for which the lump has been present,
True.
and how it was noticed, how it was
Correct,
noticed.
correct. Like while
Then
bathing. Fine.
history of trauma will like to rule out
No,
because
no.
of
See, now you have to just differentiate. The borderline is very thin here. So you have to again concentrate on the ODP. So in the
yes, sir.
ODP, as I earlier mentioned in the clinics, that you also need to mention about the various treatments patient has taken, any investigation if she has taken, or
Hmm.
if she has consulted any doctor regarding this particular pathology in the last
Hmm.
6 months. These about that is correct. Progression, painless, then she noticed during the bathing, absolutely fine. But you have to also mention during the progression how the progressing is happening, whether she attended any physician, anyone consulted to come here, or what happened. That you also need to mention. Hmm?
Okay, sir.
So please mention if at all, or if nothing, you mention a negative one. That is fine, but you need to mention it
Hmm.
about it in the ODP. Then you proceed
Okay,
for
sir.
the etiology. Once you start the etiology, don't come back to ODP again. It doesn't look good. So finish the
Okay, sir.
ODP, then you proceed. And again, remember whether you have omitted the second chief complaint or need to elaborate more on that also in all these
Okay, sir.
perspective points.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
So I'll elaborate more on the second chief complaint and then I'll go to the history of etiology.
Yeah, but about Lum, did she take any treatment or did she consult anyone or what
No,
happened?
no,
So you
sir.
mentioned that.
So she's coming for the first time in Terna, like for the lump.
So what you want, what you should mention rather in a model case, that my patient didn't consult any family physician or a specialist regarding the same lump which is present in her left breast since 6 months. Nor did she undergo any investigation, nor did she receive any treatment. Okay,
Okay, sir.
so this completes the ODP for the lump. Now you can come to the second chief complaint. Proceed.
Okay, sir. The patient also experienced a slight appetite loss over the past 1 month. Initially, she could eat 3 to 4 chapatis per meal, but now feels like eating only one. So, so this was the second chief complaint. Now I'll go to history of etiology.
No, no, you have to elaborate. Once you mention it in the chief complaint, you need to elaborate on the chief complaint. Same thing, ODP. Why and what happened? Etiology will find out later, but regarding
Hmm.
that, see, because this is something which is quite bothering to her, then since she mentioned it in the chief complaint.
Yes,
So,
sir.
had she consulted anyone regarding this?
No, sir. She's coming for the first time.
So, 1 month it is just ongoing like that.
Yes, sir.
Fine. So, again, mention the same thing that regarding this second chief complaint also, this lady didn't consult anyone or has received any treatment. Okay. Then you can
Okay, sir.
proceed to the chief this history of etiology.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this time. Yeah, then go.
Okay. So history of etiology. There is no history of trauma. There is no history of fever, cough, or night sweats. There is no history of change in the size of the lump in relation to menstrual cycle. There is no history of pain in relation to menstrual cycle. There is no history of ulceration of the overlying skill. Then there is no history of nipple discharge. There is no history of nipple retraction. There is no history of breastfeeding or recent lactation. There is no history of itching or eczema over the nipple. There is no history of lump in the opposite breast. There is no history of any swelling in the axilla or neck area. There is no history of edema of the arm. There is no history of chest pain, hemoptysis, or difficulty in breathing.
Okay,
There
okay,
is
okay. No,
no.
no, no. Wait, just wait, Pratham. Now here you need to distinguish from the history of etiology and history of complications. Okay.
Okay.
Now, since you have mentioned about the hemoptysis, you have mentioned about the other issues, those will
Hmm.
come into actually history, if at all. Suppose, let us assume that this lady has breast malignancy. Okay,
Yes, sir.
then etiology, as you are aware, is different. So we have to
Hmm.
ask in the relations, ask about the her other history, and then for the lump, there will be some history suggestive of any complications associated, which
Hmm.
will also include all other things like even the breast discharge or the pure orange appearance or anything else, that is
Yes, sir.
metastasis or loss of appetite, loss of weight. These are all complications related to one pathology, that is breast malignancy. So
Yes, sir.
that will not come into history of etiology. So you have to discriminate wisely between the etiology and the complications. So
Yes,
just
sir.
note you have started nicely. So just try to complete the etiology. Then we can proceed to this regarding the complications.
Okay, sir. So do we need separate headings for like every like etiology under separate heading and
Yes,
complications
yes,
under
yes,
separate
yes,
headings?
yes,
Okay, sir.
yes.
Okay, okay, sir.
See why it is important, because it is to know given exam case is a simple case of a breast or whether it is an advanced case of breast,
Yes, sir.
right? So accordingly your treatment plan will change. So
Yes,
if it
sir.
is a complicated, say stage 4 disease, you are mentioning even the ulceration, that also will come into complication history, not in the chief
Hmm.
complaint or other etiological history.
Yes, sir.
Ulceration, etc., will happen much later, no?
Yes, sir.
So it is not the first thing that will happen. Initially, again, the bone pain or backache, etc., will happen later on
Hmm.
in the case of a CA breast. So that you have to keep in a separate compartment, that is history suggestive of complications. And regarding the etiology, you ask the family history, history of breastfeeding, history of hormonal treatment, history of her menstruation, history of her delivery, etc. All these histories will come there. history of her
Yes, sir.
diet, history of other things. So try to see
Okay, sir.
what all things missed and what all things you have completed. So try to complete the missing portion of the etiology.
Okay, sir. Sir, so the other things like HRT or OCP use and diet and menstrual history, sir, I've mentioned it under separate headings like menstrual history, drug history, like that. So,
No, that is okay. But here, just quickly, you have to mention you may elaborate more on the family history later. But if it is
okay,
a
sir.
positive, significant contributory history, then you have to mention it in etiology because that becomes not only just a family history component, but also the etiological component.
Okay, sir.
Fine. So you don't have to wait till it comes later on in the protocol. Understand? There's a
Yes,
history
sir.
of etiology, history of complications, then there is a past history of major medical illnesses, then personal history, then family history, etc. Right? So that is a
Yes, sir.
protocol. So you don't have to wait till that point. The positive history is obviously there. For example, her mother had a CA breast, for example. So
Yes,
this
sir.
is obvious positive history. So you have to mention it in the because that is itself is a contributory factor for her
Yes, sir.
development. And then if you want, you may elaborate more. You can mention to that examiner, I would like to elaborate more in the family history. Or you can
Okay, sir.
straight away start with the family history, not a issue. So there is no other family history that is contributory than this.
Hmm.
So like that
So,
same thing.
so in history of etiology, we only mention if there are any positive findings, right? Like from the family history or from
No,
any
you
other history.
start with the positive history and you then do the negative history, as you have mentioned correctly. Few things negative also.
Okay,
So,
sir.
but always start with the positive points, then go for the negative history.
All right, sir.
So there
So I'll
just see,
continue.
yeah, you have written uh, points well, but we have to just see the order in which you are supposed to present.
Okay, sir.
Yes, please proceed.
Okay, sir. So I'll history of complications. I'll continue with that.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes,
So
yes, please.
there's some audio lag, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, please continue.
Okay, sir. History of complication. So there is no history of ulceration of overlying skin. There is no history of nipple discharge. There is no history of nipple retraction. There is no history of edema of the arm. There is no history of chest pain, hemoptysis, or difficulty in breathing. There is no history of lower back pain, hip pain, or pathological fractures. There is no history of yellowish discoloration of sclera and skin. There is no history of abdominal distension. There is no history of headache, seizures, focal neurological deficit, truncal ataxia, or ptosis.
Okay, fine. Now,
So
for
this is under
yeah,
history.
for everyone's benefit, I will just tell you have mentioned all the points. Now, just remember when you again look back later that try to put it in a sequence. Okay. For example, say
So
nipple discharge will start.
your audio is not coming clearly. So there is some lag in the audio.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. So you need to maintain a sequence when you are presenting the complications.
Yes, sir.
Say first, for example, nipple discharge will start. Then the other complications can happen like nipple retraction. You have included everything, but point is you have to present in that particular sequence so it sounds also much better that you understand the chronology of events happening with the case
Yes,
of
sir.
a CA breast. That is very important. So that is what we are doing a revision. So in the final exams, you can present more confidently and it will come smoothly in a sequence which is actually perfect. Okay, so proceed.
Hello.
Proceed.
Okay, okay, sir. I'll proceed to past history. Past history. So there is no
Yes.
history of similar complaints in the past. There is no history of any breast or other gynecological surgery. There is no history of previous hospitalization. There is no history of tuberculosis, and there is no history of chest wall irradiation in the past. So
Okay.
that's all in past history.
Then personal history.
Okay, personal history. So the patient consumes mixed diet. The patient has a normal sleep-wake cycle. There is normal bowel and bladder habits. There is a history of appetite loss since 1 month. The patient has no addictions. Then there is no history of hypertension, diabetes, asthma in the patient.
Okay.
So then
Go on.
family history. There is no history of similar complaints in the family, and there is no history of any gastrointestinal, gynecological, or breast malignancy in parents, siblings, grandparents, and aunts.
So you can mention in one line, there is no contributory family health record.
Okay, sir.
Fine, it includes everything.
Okay, sir.
Then next.
So next, menstrual history. The patient had menarche at 11 years of age. The cycles were regular, lasting for 29 days in duration. There was no complaint of excessive bleeding or excessive pain, and the patient attained menopause at 50 years of age.
Okay.
So then next is obstetric history. So
Mhm.
the patient had her only pregnancy at 28 years of age. The pregnancy was uncomplicated, and she delivered a healthy baby at term via normal vaginal delivery. Baby was breastfed for only 2 months, after which formula feed was given.
Okay. Okay.
So then next is socioeconomic history. The patient belongs to lower middle class based on modified Kupuswamy classification, and the patient lives in a pakka house.
Okay.
Then drug history. The patient is not on any hormone replacement therapy, and there is no history of any oral contraceptive usage.
Okay. Okay. So now she has a breastfeeding of only 2 months.
Yes, sir.
So how it is significant?
So, breastfeeding is supposed to be protective for against breast carcinoma, if provided that the cumulative period of breastfeeding is more than 1 year. So, in this particular case, since the patient has only breast for a period of 2 months, the protective effect of gestational amenorrhea is not seen in this particular case.
Right. Okay. She is more prone to develop,
Yes,
right?
sir.
Okay. Okay. Fine. And regarding her menstrual cycle, she attended menarche a little earlier and menopause a
Yes, sir.
little later. So
Yes,
that
sir.
what is the significance for that?
Sir, early menarche and late menopause, that is less than 12 years of age at menarche and after 50 years of age at menopause, that is, it means that there is prolonged exposure of estrogen and therefore it is a risk factor for breast cancer.
So these two are, so you have to just note down all the positive points. Hmm? There is a
Okay, sir.
possibility if you're doing well in the exams, the examiner may just want to recollect all the positive points in your history.
Yes,
Right?
sir.
So you have to just make a star when you are presenting to the entire case sheet or answer sheet that you are writing it continuously. So you
Yes,
will
sir.
know at the end for quick revision that these are the positive points. Positive points from the history, positive points on examination. Examination will come later, but now you are completing the history. Right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next, anything else in the history remaining?
No, sir. Now general examination.
Okay. Proceed.
Okay, so general examination. The patient was conscious, cooperative, well oriented to time, place, person, and was sitting comfortably on the bed. Vitals, the pulse is 76 per minute, regular, normal volume, no special character. There is no radial or radiofemoral delay. The condition of the vessel wall is normal. All peripheral pulses are palpable. Then blood pressure is 116 by 76, 116 systolic by 76 diastolic millimeters of mercury, taken in right arm in sitting position. Respiratory rate is 14 per minute. It is regular, abdominothoracic, and there's no use of accessory muscles. Then temperature. The temperature is off febrile and is 97.9 degree Fahrenheit. Then height is
Uh, re-
1.55.
respiration, respiration you mentioned about abdominal thoracic, right?
Yes, sir.
Should be thoracoabdominal, right?
So in females, it's abdominothoracic, no?
No, it is other, no? Because of the breast, it is more of a thoracoabdominal, while in males, it is a abdominal thoracic. The presentation, the basic thing happens same, but to
Okay, sir.
have on inspection or at least from the history wise, it is mentioned as a thoraco abdominal
Okay,
for
sir.
the females, and for men, it is abdominal thoracic. So you can mention that. Hmm?
Okay,
Anything
sir.
else in the general examination?
Yes, sir. So temperature is off febrile. Then the BMI is 24.9 kg per meter square, and the patient appears pale, and there is no signs of icterus, cyanosis, clubbing, edema, lymphadenopathy.
Okay.
Then, sir, I'll go to local examination.
And you have to also mention skull and spine because spine is important in the case of breast
Okay,
cancer.
sir.
So skull and spine
Okay, sir.
normal. Fine. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Now local examination.
Yes, sir. So local examination. So for local examination is done after explaining the procedure to the patient, taking due consent and exposing up to the waist, and in the presence of a female attendant.
Okay.
So first inspecting the normal breast and comparing the left breast in reference to the normal breast. So on inspection, the breasts are asymmetrical. The right breast is at a lower level as compared to the left breast. Then there is no scar or dilated vein seen over the breast. Then there is no dimpling, puckering, pudé orange appearance, or nodule ulceration seen on the breast.
Now
Then
here, remember, when now you're starting inspection, right? You started well with comparing both the breasts. Now important is, as you are also aware, right is normal, correct?
yes, sir.
So now what happens? Right becomes a reference range for
Yes,
you.
sir.
Left is a pathology, correct?
Yes, sir.
So now what you are supposed to mention, rather than mentioning right below left, you have to mention left is above right.
Okay, sir.
So left breast is pulled up. What point? Because of the pathology in the breast, the left breast level, the nipple level, for example, if you see
Hmm.
from the same level, it is pulled up compared to the right, which is normal.
Okay, sir.
We are not projecting the right breast. We know that
Hmm.
right is normal apparently till we have touched the patient. So left is the pathological or left is under evaluation. So we have to concentrate and explain and describe the left breast. So left breast is pulled up or the level is up, you mentioned. You got my point?
Yes, sir.
So you please mention in that particular relation the left
Okay,
breast.
sir.
The left breast appears a little bit higher level compared to the right normal breast. And then you proceed to the other examination points.
Yes, sir. So inspection of the lump. The lump is present in the upper outer quadrant of the left breast, extending from 12 o'clock to 3 o'clock, and is 2 centimeter beyond the nipple areola complex. There is no redness of the overlying skin, and there is no ulceration of the overlying skin.
Okay. Now
Then
one more question. Is it 2 centimeters? So it is a not very big lump, correct? It is
s- s-
a relatively smaller one.
no, sir. Sir, it is 2 centimeter beyond the nipple area complex, the location. So the lump is
Okay.
5 by 6 centimeter on palpation.
Okay. So one thing most important on inspection, can you see the lump separately? First thing. Second thing, whether you notice a fullness in the breast.
Hmm.
Okay. So there are two different things. You appreciate an area of fullness in her left breast. Okay.
Hmm.
And you appreciate actually a lump, significant, with a clear
Yes, sir.
demarcation. So what is it?
So fullness, area of fullness on the left
Uh-huh.
breast.
So please mention that on inspection. I could appreciate an area of fullness mentioning. Then you mention whatever 2 by 3 centimeter, whatever in the left breast. And now here you mention the quadrant. Which quadrant? As you mentioned, upper and outer, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So upper and outer quadrant, I could see an area of fullness, which is a diffuse one, admeasuring so on and so. And then you start the other points like the skin over the swelling appears normal, no obvious scar, sinuses, dilated veins, and no other pathology obviously seen in the surrounding.
Yes, sir.
And then you come to the point that nipple areola appears normal, or whether it
Hmm.
is a retracted one, or whether there is any deviation or any displacement.
Yes, sir.
So what is a deviation and what is a displacement?
So deviation will be like, so comparing the two level of the nipple. If there is any change in the position with respect to the two levels, then that will be deviation. Whereas displacement is like, so on performing any maneuvers, uh, if there is discrepancy in the position, then that will be deviation. Right? Whereas displacement will be as compared to the, like, from midline if it is displaced.
You are explaining the same thing. Means what is the difference actually? Deviation. We are talking
Uh,
in context with the nipple areola, correct? Not
yes, sir.
anything else. Deviation and displacement.
Um,
See, displacement is correct. As you said, compared to the anatomical landmark, it is displaced. Like you are
yes, sir.
mentioning, it is pulled up or it is pulled little laterally or whatever. That is actual displacement from the
Yes, sir.
normal position as compared to the right breast, right? So now
Yes,
the
sir.
deviation is what? Deviation is the angle of the nipple areola complex. So
Okay,
what
sir.
is that? A normal for a normal. See, you can see her right breast. How is the nipple areola? So
Yes, sir.
if it's same, then it is not deviated. Deviation means it's a projection. Usually,
Hmm.
in a healthy person, a healthy female, the nipple area complex will be slightly protruding out, and it is slightly upward direction.
Hmm.
Now, if there is any adherence, that is if from posteriorly into the breast, there will be a change in the direction. Okay, so normally, for example, this is the direction up, so it will be either straight or it will go down. Okay,
Yes, sir.
that is a deviation. And again, the second thing is whether it is getting pulled or retracted is a different thing.
Yes, sir.
Fine, that is a totally different thing. And whether it is a destruction, that is the pages, which is it's again a different thing.
Yes, sir.
So you have to encompass everything on inspection. So no, you are not touching
Yes.
yet. So that is a deviation and any displacement. There are two points that the examiner may ask you. So that is why you have to be ready for the answer. Next, what is it?
Yes, sir. So the inspection of nipple. So the left nipple is drawn upwards and outwards compared to the right nipple, and there is no crack, fissure, ulcers, discharge, or retraction of the nipple. Then areola. The areola is dark brown in color and same size on both the sides, and there is no crack, fissure, ulcer, eczema, or discharge of the areola. Then, sir, examine inspection of arm and thorax. There is no edema of the arm, and there are no nodules seen over the chest. And inspection of axilla and supraclavicular fossa. There is no visible swelling seen in axilla or supraclavicular fossa.
Okay.
Then,
Okay.
sir, inspection on performing Auchincloss maneuvers. So, first on bending forwards, both the breasts fall equally. Then, on raising both arms above the head straight, the affected breast is raised higher, and no skin changes are seen on raising the arm. And the nipple in the left breast is at a higher level as compared to the right breast.
Okay, now what does it signify? As you
So it
mentioned it,
signifies, so it
suppose the
signifies that there
patient has
is,
taken the hand eye and the breast is getting pulled further. What it means?
sir, it signifies that there is a parenchymal disease. Like if on raising the hand, if the affected breast is going higher, it signifies that there is a parenchymal tumor
What is
in the.
parenchymal tumor?
Hello. So there's some audio lag.
All mics are mute. Please mute all mics. Asif, if anyone has joined newly, please mute the mic.
Yes, I've muted them.
Yeah. So Prashant, just yeah, what you were talking. Huh? So when the patient is lifting the hand, right? You are saying
Yes,
the
sir.
breast is getting pulled up. So what it
Y-
tells. See, don't just
Sir, on
mention parenchymal disease. What you're supposed to mention is there. Everyone, please remember, you have to mention specific terminologies in specific areas of the body. Like in thyroid, different thing. Lump in abdomen, different. Breast, different. Varicose veins, different. PVD, different. Okay? Specific words or specific terminology you have to mention. So, getting pulled up breast, what it tells?
mm,
It tells infiltration of the suspensory ligament of Cooper.
okay, sir.
Understand? That is why it is getting pulled up. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Compared to when the patient is lifting hand, the affected breast is getting pulled up. So that is one thing. Second thing, there is also a possibility of infiltration of the posterior chest wall. That is why it is getting little bit fixity.
Yes, sir.
Right? So if this is true, your first test, bending forward, has to also change accordingly.
Yes, sir.
So what will happen now?
Sir, if like this is true, then in bending forward, so there will be this thing. The breast will, so the breast will fall at a more level, no, at a less level only as compared to the
Correct.
normal side.
The affected breast will fall less as compared to the normal breast. Normal is
Yes, sir.
right, it is falling normally. But here, because something is holding back, it is pulled. So left is not falling as it's supposed to fall. So this is normal, so it is falling less high. See, remember when you are whatever you are mentioning, no, everything has to get connected properly.
Hmm.
So
Yes,
if
sir.
you're mentioning lifting hand and it is getting pulled, then everything, all four things need to match it. Otherwise,
Hmm.
there is a discrepancy. And then if there is a discrepancy, it is not good when you're presenting. So just see,
Yes, sir.
should go hand in hand. So see, then now next position or next.
So, yes, sir. So on pressing both the arms on the waist, the affected breast becomes slightly more prominent, and there are no skin changes.
Okay. Okay.
So then, supine test. So on
Mhm.
supine test, there is no swelling observed in the medial quadrants.
Right. Because your swelling is itself in a outer quadrant, correct?
Yes, sir.
So, but obviously you want to rule out the inner quadrants.
Medial.
So that is important. So there is nothing. Fine. Okay. Anything else on inspection over?
No, sir. Now palpation next.
Okay. Fine. Proceed.
So on palpation of the left breast, the temperature in all quadrants is normal. There is no tenderness,
Now
and
again as you start correctly for inspection, please complete the normal breast.
yes, sir.
Remember, you always should have a normal reference range.
Yes, sir.
If you know what is normal, then only you can pick up abnormal. Otherwise, you cannot pick up what is abnormal once you start touching the abnormal, because then your
Yes, sir.
gauging power changes. So first go to normal, then and then confirm that with normal. That is the ideal
Yes, sir.
chronology in exam.
Yes, sir.
So
S-
affected and found it is absolutely within normal limits. Then you have gone to the affected breast, that is the left breast. You have
hmm.
you picked certain points, and again that you confirm with the again normal breast. So yes, definitely this is abnormal.
Yes,
Understand?
sir.
This is chronology of event for any other pathology anywhere in the body. When you there is a comparison, say for example two lobes of thyroid, for example, or two
Yes,
lower
sir.
extremity for varicose veins. So these things you have to mention if you want to compare it. As you mentioned very nicely in the inspection, so same thing should continue in the palpation,
Okay,
percussion
sir.
everywhere. So please proceed.
Yes, sir. So on palpation, the right or the normal breast was palpated, and it appeared to be normal. And
Correct.
left breast. So left breast, so the temperature in all the quadrants is normal. There is no tenderness, and all the inspection findings are confirmed on palpation. Then palpation of the lump. The lump is about six. It is 6 centimeter by 4 centimeter in size, present in the upper outer quadrant, 9 centimeter from the midline, and about 6 centimeter below the clavicle.
Hmm.
Then
See
the lump.
now here one final point I will just mention. Now there is a change on inspection finding and palpatory finding. Correct?
Hmm.
On inspection, what you gauged, the area of fullness was smaller, and when you're actually palpating, the
Hmm.
underneath uh, the tumor or whatever is larger. Is it?
Hmm.
So
Yes,
then
sir.
you need to repeat the sequence again here. If it is not matching, then we
Yes,
cannot
sir.
say. Then we shouldn't say rather the all the final inspection are confirmed, because we couldn't inspect them properly. What we inspected is the area of fullness, which is a
Hmm.
diffuse measurement. What we
Hmm.
want is a very precise measurement, because now you are palpating. You may have with
Yes,
you
sir.
even measuring tape, so you will have actual measurements, factual. So that
Hmm.
is very important. So then you need to please again mention all the points. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So here it won't be a just one line that this is all points are similar, unless they are truly
Yes, sir.
similar. Got the
Yes, sir.
point? Yeah.
Yes, sir. Understood.
Yeah.
So the lump is 6 centimeter by 5 centimeter in the upper outer quadrant, about 9 centimeter from midline and 6 centimeter below the clavicle. Then it is of the surface is uneven. The margin is irregular but well defined, and that does not slip away from the palpating fingers. Then the lump is hard in consistency. Tethering is seen. Then the lump is non-tender, non-fluctuant, non-transilluminant. It is
Now, what is the difference between tethering and fixation?
So tethering is involvement of the suspensory ligament such that so it is involvement of skin such that there is a long stalk such that the lump can be moved in a pendulum, like a pendulum under the skin surface, Whereas
Okay.
in fixation, there is a narrow stalk such that the lump cannot be moved freely from under the skin surface. So you can
Correct.
demonstrate that by trying to pick the skin above the lump, and you cannot separately lift the skin from the lump if it is fixed. Whereas in
Okay.
tethering, you
Fine.
can easily do that.
Correct. Correct. Now you please tell me, is it fixation or tethering?
So tethering,
Your lump size is quite large.
yes, sir.
So is it possible, even by logic, to move it like pendulum?
Mm,
Pendulum effect is only valid if you see the diagrams or if you check the actual
hmm.
books for small lumps.
Okay, sir.
See, remember, you have to always imagine this is a skin, this is a small tumor beneath,
Yes, sir.
and there is a single stalk that is involved. Then only you can have that pendulum effect, and there will be the then dimpling of the skin. Understand? So
Yes, sir.
that thing is not possible when the lump is large.
Hmm.
It will, when you're having large lump, it will have multiple points no, of fixation.
Yes, sir.
That thing will not happen.
Hmm.
Okay. So for
Yes,
that it is
understood.
important. You have to mention if the lump is small, less than 5 centimeters, then yes, you can mention that it is a tethering one or pendulum effect. Or it's a
Hmm.
large lump, so naturally there will be fixity, multiple points. So it is not
Hmm.
having a pendulum effect. It is a
Okay,
fixed.
sir.
We call it as a fixed one. That is why it is getting pulled up. It is getting things will change. If it is a small swelling, then it will not have same effect on
Yes,
inspection
sir.
and palpation. So again, the things should match. Fine.
Hmm. Okay,
Okay.
sir.
Proceed.
So the lump is hard in consistency. It is non-tender. It is non-fluctuant. The transillumination test is negative.
Once you
The
mention
lump.
hard, don't mention about fluctuation. There's no need.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir. Then the lump is fixed to the breast tissue. It is not fixed to pectoralis major, chest wall, or the chest wall, and there is no dimpling, puckering, or retraction of the skin.
It is not fixed to
And
chest wall.
so I said there is not fixed to pectoralis major or the chest wall. I said that, sir.
Okay. Then why it is
Yes,
not
sir.
falling same?
Sorry.
Then why it is not falling same as a normal
What?
breast? See
Mm,
again, this discrepancy point shouldn't
there's a
come.
discrepancy. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I realize that. Yes, sir.
See, even if you have some wrong thing by chance, God forbidden, then you should support it in sequence everywhere, and
Yes,
it will
sir.
look true.
Hmm.
You mentioned on inspection it is not falling, and on palpation you are saying that it is free, then
Hmm.
it is embarrassing situation for you actually in the
Yes,
exams.
sir.
So just see, if you want to lie, lie properly. But if you want
Yes,
to
sir.
tell truth, see that all the points will match everywhere. It should be same in history, it should be same on inspection, same on palpation, same on percussion. Then
Yes,
only it
sir.
will match. Okay,
Hmm.
fine. Go on.
Okay. Okay, sir. And so there's no redness or ulceration of the overlying skin. Then, so going to axilla examination. So in axilla examination, the anterior, posterior, lateral, central, and apical group of lymph nodes, none of them are palpable on both the sides. Then the supraclavicular lymph node is also not palpable.
Mhm.
Then on palpation of the nipple is non-tender and there is no lump felt under the nipple.
Okay.
Then, so that's it for
See,
palpation.
one simple point. By and large, and by logic, if there is a large lump, that too again a malignancy,
Hmm.
there has to be some lymph nodes. Okay,
Okay, sir.
so you have to either palpate correctly or you have to know where it will go. So you can imagine if a small tumor can have a lymph node, large tumor should definitely have a lymph node there. Okay, so if
Yes,
you
sir.
palpate properly, you will pick up one thing, and even if you are not getting properly, but you are getting some area of fullness, then you should mention the thing will be happening. But the
Yes,
moment
sir.
you said large lump and axilla clear, it is not matching.
Yes, sir.
So please understand, everything has to match.
Okay, sir. So
Now,
we can just mention
again,
area of fullness if there's a doubt.
no, now you're palpating. Area of fullness is on inspection. Actually, what I meant to say is area of inspection or the fullness is only inspective finding. On palpation, you will get some rough thing or some globular thing there palpable,
Hmm.
but it has to be there. It cannot be just axilla can be fully normal. cannot happen for such a large tumor.
Yes, sir.
So please mention accordingly. So it will fit into picture. Even if you mention single node, that's fine. And most likely it will be in a anterior or central compartment.
Yes, sir.
By the natural clinical pathological correlation, it will turn into that particular node, group of nodes. So it will go
Yes,
there.
sir.
So you can mention that. That is absolutely fine.
Okay, sir.
The moment you, that's why I always say, when the moment you say normal in exam, you have to be absolutely careful if it is really normal.
Yes, sir.
Because when you mention there's a, I could palpate a small group of node or small node in the axilla, no one will question because you know such a large tumor will definitely have a node.
Yes, sir.
The moment you say it is normal, nothing is palpable, that will cause the alarm for the examiners. So just see whether it is really there. You need to examine very carefully, meticulously. You should get a lymph node.
Yes, sir.
Proceed.
So then, so that's it for local examination. So then systemic examination. So on systemic examination, respiratory system,
You
the
can do just a percussion, just to have a dull note. There is no role for any auscultation here, right?
okay, sir.
Because the lump is large, you can have a dull note just to as a finish the protocol. That's fine.
Okay, sir.
Then
So then systemic examination, respiratory system, the trachea is central in position and bilateral resonant nodes are heard on percussion and bilateral vesicular breath sounds are heard. Then go into abdomen. Umbilicus is central and inverted. There is no distension. There's no hepatomegaly and tympanic note on percussion. Then on CNS, there is no abnormality detected and the gait is normal. Then on skeletal system, there is no vertebral tenderness, there is no sternal tenderness, and there is no shoulder tip or hip joint pain.
shoulder tip
Then
of joint.
tenderness. Then, sir, on PV examination, there'll be no adnexal mass, and on PR examination, there'll be no pelvic deposits felt. So
Okay.
then, next is provisional diagnosis.
Mm-hmm.
So, my patient is a 56-year-old lady who presented with a painless progressive lump on the left breast associated with loss of appetite. And it is most likely a case of carcinoma breast and clinically staged as T3N0M0.
Okay. T3. Okay. Okay. Fine. 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 So now, how will you manage your case?
So first, we'll like to order for further evaluation. We'll like to order certain investigations. So since we've already taken the history and physical examination according to the triple assessment protocol, we'll now like want to do imaging modalities and followed by which we'll like to do pathological evaluation. So for imaging modalities, since the patient is above 35 years of age, we like to order a mammogram and
See,
after
remember, you categorize your answer into biochemical, radiological, and pathological investigation. Okay,
yes sir,
we call it as a triple assessment. Understand? So
yes
in
sir,
triple assessment, it's of course one is a clinical examination, but in investigating modality also, it is a triple point. That is one biochemical, one radiological, and one pathological.
yes
Right?
sir,
So first finish biochemical. Why it is important? Because your patient is anemic on general examination, if you remember. You
yes sir,
mentioned specifically. So
yes sir, yes sir.
you need to evaluate the anemia. So
Hmm.
CBC is the single most important investigation in the biochemical.
Yes sir.
Okay. So CBC you have to mention about patient's hemoglobin levels, differential
Hmm.
count, any eosinophilia of any platelets and ESR to
Yes sir,
monitor because ESR will be raised in malignancy. Okay.
yes sir.
There are only three conditions in which we have a triple figure ESR. Now, what is triple figure ESR? It is ESR that is nearing 100 or above. The normal
Okay sir.
ESR is between 0 to 20 or 0 to 10 for male, 0 to 20 maximum for females. So,
Yes sir.
it is a prognostic marker, as you are aware, like a tumor marker.
Hmm.
So, if the patient's ESR is suppose 105, let's assume. So,
Hmm.
you have to monitor that ESR when she is undergoing all the treatment. That is why we
Yes
do
sir.
serial CBCs, CBC ESR. So, the ESR will
Yes sir.
fall slowly. So, hematocrit is very important. And second thing is her actual hemoglobin level or hematocrit or PCV, what
Hmm.
we see mentioned is very important. So both things are
Yeah.
important accordingly because that is directly related to your treatment.
Hmm. Yes sir.
Because that will reflect whether she will going to tolerate the treatment or not, whatever you want to offer,
Yeah.
surgical, chemotherapy, radiation, etc., etc. So
Yes,
her
sir.
hemoglobin is suppose low, say around 5, and you have to
Hmm.
give blood transfusion, try build up the
Yes, sir.
hemoglobin, then go for treatment. Fine. So CBC is very important. Rest you can
Yes,
just
sir.
mention quickly in 2 minutes or 1 minute. Then you proceed to the radiological. Now in
Hmm.
radiological here what you have, first thing if you want is a simple sonomammogram,
Yes, sir.
or if the facility is available, you go for a mammography.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So on mammography, what you want to do, or what you want to see basically, the spread of the disease.
Yes.
See, these investigations are not to make your diagnosis. You have
Yes,
made
sir.
through your sound clinical examination the diagnosis of breast malignancy.
Yes,
And
sir.
this is just to support or to find anything else remaining, which was
Hmm.
not palpable or some other macrometastasis, or rather
Yes,
the
sir.
opposite breast,
Yes, sir.
right? So for that we are doing the radiology. It is not to
Yes, sir.
give a diagnosis. So please,
Yes,
all
sir.
of you, don't mention this that I will do this and I will come to a diagnosis. No, you have done hard work. You have taken 40 minutes of your time. You have examined the patient. Everything is done. You have arrived at diagnosis. So that is correct.
Hmm.
If you are logical and correct. So you have to know. Next thing is just to match it or find anything else beyond your clinical domain. So that is the only thing. So find anywhere else there is a small tumor which is not palpable in the affected breast or opposite breast. So
Yes,
for
sir.
that we do a mammography or USG breast, and of course USG axilla is very important to pick up
Yes, sir.
all the small nodes which are otherwise may not be palpable. Sometimes that can happen. Then next thing is you go for the pathological, and pathological, which is the important investigation.
So in pathological, there are two modalities. One we have is FNAC, fine needle aspiration cytology, and other there is a core cut biopsy or a true cut biopsy. So first line investigation for any benign appearing lesion or any lesion will be FNAC, fine needle aspiration cytology. And so if on clinical listing and on mammography, if we are fairly suggestive of malignancy, then we'll go for investigation of choice to confirm diagnosis will be a true cut biopsy, sir, which is
Okay.
a excisional biopsy. And on that, so we'll be able to confirm the diagnosis and and then so for treatment, we like for staging the disease, we'll like to do a PET CT or a bone scan in order to stage the disease and further decide the line of treatment.
Okay. See, now the metastatic workup is different.
Yes,
What
sir.
you are so far doing is a basic workup of the patient for offering her any treatment, whether mostly surgical actually, and then chemo and radiation,
Yes,
fine,
sir.
and any hormonal treatment. So for this you are doing this. Now when you want to do a metastatic workup, so metastatic workup, what all things you do? A PET CT, fine.
Hmm.
Then you have to do what else?
So bone scan can be done. A technician 99 bone scan can be done to assess
Okay,
spread
okay.
to the and
Mhm.
so that only,
You
sir.
have to
Two
do
things. PET.
basically X-ray chest, patient's
Hmm.
ESR, patient's PET CT with bone scan, and the LFT. These
Okay,
four
sir.
things you have to maintain as a metastatic workup for the
Hmm.
patient of CA breast. And you need to monitor this serially, see on yearly basis eventually. And patient is coming for follow-up after the
Yes,
treatment
sir.
is completion. And that is important things. Okay, fine. So now, which treatment will you offer to the patient?
So, since on clinical this thing, and so the patient is of a locally advanced breast cancer, since it is T3 N0 M0, so we like to give a neoadjuvant chemotherapy, followed
Why,
by
why,
which,
why do you mention this locally advanced?
sir, because it is a T3 tumor, the size is more than 5 centimeter, but there is no lymph node involvement, so therefore it is a locally, it's a large operable breast tumor, not locally advanced.
So please remember, locally advanced is a totally different
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
category.
Sorry, sorry.
And CA breast, I think this is operable. Size is
Yes,
little
a large
larger.
operable.
I get it, but it is operable. Now there is again two schools of thought. If you send patient to Tata, they will downstage the tumor. Fine.
Hmm.
So what you're saying is they will offer a neoadjuvant chemotherapy. So what is
Yes, sir.
neoadjuvant chemotherapy? That you give 3 cycles of chemotherapy to shrink the tumor so as to
Yes,
make
sir.
it operable. But now in this particular patient, it is not that condition that it is cannot be
Hmm.
operated or something. You can operate
Hmm.
on this. If it is more than 5 centimeters, say 6, 7, you can operate, not a problem. And plus you can achieve primary closure also. So that is
Hmm.
not a point. If it is really advanced, then only or something you need, then only you can go for a neoadjuvant. So
Mm.
you have to really categorize the possibility and then accordingly mention. So
Mm.
if it is like this particular patient, for example, I think is operable tumor, so you
Mm.
can go for a modified radical mastectomy followed by
Mm.
adjuvant chemotherapy. That
Yes,
will
sir.
be a good option for this female because obviously no clinically axilla palpable, no obvious
Mm.
metastasis, and MC tumor. You can go
Yes, sir.
for the MRM. Okay. So what do you do in MRM?
In MRM, so basically in MRM, the first the incision. So the incision uses elliptical Stewart incision, and so the structures that you remove in MRM will include the breast, nipple areola complex, the pectoral fascia, and the level 1, 2, and 3 axillary lymph nodes. And so pectoralis major is not removed, but minor may or may not be removed, or like may be cut, retracted, or removed depending on the procedure that you're performing. So which include the Pate procedure, the Scanlon procedure, and the Auchincloss procedure, wherein in Auchincloss the pectoralis minor muscle is removed, whereas in this thing in Auchincloss the pectoralis minor is retracted, whereas in Scanlon and
Standing.
Pate, Scanlon may we only cut the pectoralis minor, and in Pate we remove the pectoralis minor.
Fine.
So
So
yes, sir.
that is depending on the need on the table.
Yes, sir.
So for exam purpose, what you will mention that I would like to do or offer patient modified radical mastectomy, and then I would like to thoroughly look for axilla to any lymph nodes. Fine.
Hmm.
And do a lymph node dissection for the
Yes, sir.
affected axilla, ipsilateral axilla. Okay, then
Yes, sir.
what happened? Suppose you have done nicely, you could achieve primary closure nicely. What things will you
Sir,
develop?
yes, sir. So basically, sir, if clinically, if it is not the lymph nodes are not palpable, then we like to do a sentinel lymph node biopsy. And if on sentinel lymph node biopsy, if the axilla is positive for lymph nodes, then we like to give chemotherapy to the patient and
Okay.
like post.
Since you mentioned that, I will ask. Now, what is the sentinel node?
So sentinel lymph node is the first draining lymph node from the cancer site.
Okay. And what are the chances that if it is affected, uh, means what is the interpretation how it is getting affected?
So interpretation is that like, so you ask me the procedure, like how we do the procedure. Yeah.
And what are the chances of skip lesions?
So chance, so I don't know the chances of skip lesions. So but the procedure is like, so you do a
No,
blue dye
procedure
technique.
is fine. That's fine. You inject
Okay.
blue dye into the tumor, and the
Yes,
first
sir.
draining lymph node, okay, is a
Yes,
sentinel
sir.
node that will be picked up on the gamma camera, and that
Yes,
you
sir.
have to take a biopsy. And if it is positive, then there will be subsequent node stations will be positive. That is the
Yes, sir.
whole idea of sentinel lymph
Yes,
node
sir.
biopsy. Now only hitch is here. There is a possibility of up to 15% skip lesions. Okay,
Okay, sir.
so you may pick up a node may come negative, and you are confused. So then you
Hmm.
may not proceed. If the node is negative, then you ideally shouldn't proceed for the axillary dissection. But
Yes,
we
sir.
have to also note a point that 10 to 15% there are skip lesions. So
Hmm.
it can skip the sentinel node and can go directly. So for that you have to
Yes,
go
sir.
for the dissection. Sorry. Again, the sentinel node biopsy is important not for such a large tumor,
Hmm. Yes, sir.
rather for a smaller tumor. Okay,
Yes, sir.
it is for such a large tumor. You blindly go also for the affected axillary dissection. Nothing will go
Hmm.
wrong. You will 100% fine. Now we have
Yes,
done
sir.
hundreds of MRMs. I have seen every time that one thing is palpable. At least you get 15 to 20 nodes in
Yes,
the
sir.
axilla. It can happen. What next?
So yeah, so in that case, so we'll do MRM, and along with that, we'll do the axillary lymph node clearance. And after the surgery, we'll like to give radiotherapy to the patient. And if so, we'll do the molecular assessment and molecular classification. And if the patient is positive for ERPR, hormonal receptors, then we'll like to give hormonal therapy as well to the patient post surgery.
Okay. Which chemotherapy will you offer, sir?
So chemotherapy in this particular case, so conventionally we offer CAF or CMF chemotherapy that is offered to the patient. And but however, like recent advances, mein, we offer adriamycin with cyclophosphamide, four cycles followed by 4 cycles of taxanes, paclitaxel.
Okay. And what is the requirement or what is the catch when you are using a CAF regime?
So CAF regime catch so side effect like cardiomyopathy can be occur because
Ah,
of
so what is important before you offer CAF?
so we have to like assess the like cardiac functions properly.
You have to do a 2D echo. Okay.
2D echo, yes
So
sir.
just remember, all of you, that 2D echo is must or mandatory when you are planning to offer a CAF regime.
Yes
Okay.
sir.
If it is CMF, fine. But if it is CAF regime, then pre-operatively, when you anticipate, so you plan this everything. You jot down for the particular patient the plan, surgery, chemo, etc., etc. So when you're offering CAF, so you have to do a pre-operative 2D echo to the patient. Fine. In the process.
Yeah.
So to also remove any problems inherent to the patient. Okay.
Yes sir.
Then depending on the ERPR status, you can offer patient the further treatment. Suppose
Yes
patient
sir.
is ER positive, ERPR positive. So is it good thing?
Yes sir. ERPR positive is supposed to be a better prognostic marker as compared to ERPR negative.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Okay. And which drug will you offer?
Sir, in so there are two category wise, like depending on the age of the patient. So if the patient is premenopausal or perimenopausal, then we prefer to give selective estrogen receptor modulators like tamoxifen or aloxifin. And but in this case, since the patient is postmenopausal, we would prefer to give aromatase inhibitors like letrozole, anastrozole, or exemestane. So
And how
those
long?
drugs they're given for 10 years now. Now they're given for 10 years. Earlier we used to give for 5 years.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if patient is ERPR negative, it carries a bad prognosis. Fine.
Yes, sir.
If it is ERPR positive, it is a better prognosis. Fine.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And how long will you follow up the patient?
So follow up.
Ideally 5 years. 5 years.
Okay, okay, sir.
For any standard malignancy, a 5-year follow-up is important. Now, as I mentioned earlier, for the workup, so you have to monitor patient's CBCSR, patient's LFT, patient's one ultrasound local, simple one, I'm saying. And you have to just make a note of these points. If at all patient was having a very large load node positive axilla, then you may have to do a serial axillary scan for the patient
Hmm.
later on. But if it is relatively no, see there is a possibility that you dissect 20 nodes, but only 2 come positive. So we carry it as a okay, better one. But if you
Hmm.
dissect 20 and 20 come positive, then it is a bad prognosis. Plus,
Yes.
patient's actual histopath final report, whether it is mildly, moderately, or extremely or highly differentiated, and the type of cells that is present, picture will determine patient prognosis. So it is the
Yes,
patient's
sir.
age, patient's overall comorbid factors, patient's histopathology, and your R0 resection. That is important. Now, what is R0 resection?
So R0 means there is no micrometastasis also left in the circulation, the complete resection of the tumor.
Correct. So it means there is a complete resection of tumor and no residual macro or micro tumor remaining behind
Yes, sir.
at the end of the surgery. That is called R0 resection. R1 resection is there is a possibility of some micro thing remaining, but macroscopically you have removed nicely. And R2
Yes, sir.
is of course never done, or it is just done for a palliation. So you do a simple toilet mastectomy and you come out. Fine. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So nice. You have presented nicely. So these are the standard set of questions which will come to you. And of course, this is a being a long topic. It can go on and on and on. So Vishakha and Ashish can take down the questions, which we may discuss later on, not immediately now, in the next session, in continuation, which where I will try to cover the basic some theory points also into that for you. And besides that, then we will take a topic or the questions based on this particular case very soon. Is it fine, Vishakha and
All right,
Ashish?
sir.
So you just jot down all the questions, all the possible things that are coming from all the students, and then let me know. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And Prashant, you presented nicely. Only thing is that remember what all points I told you. Accordingly, next time you can present much better way and more confidently, smoothly. See, remember
Yes,
it
sir.
should be like a smooth narration, like you are telling to Ashish or you are telling to Vishakha. Same thing.
Yes, sir.
You don't have to take undue tension of exams. So that's why we are making all these preparations. The more you present, the more confident you become. That is the basis of any good exam outcome. You present nicely, smoothly, calmly, include all the points, and be very methodical in presentation. That's what. That is what is important. You will easily pass. Not only pass, you will score quite well, or above. So the knowledge is same. It is how you present on that particular day in that particular span of time. Now, since this is a discussion, we have taken over an hour, but usually it is limited to half an hour max. If you are doing
Yes, sir.
really well, it will proceed, but hardly half an hour. So you can imagine this 1 hour is condensed into half an hour, and again a bombardment of positive questions. So not to get disheartened if you don't miss a question, you go for the next question with positive attitude. That is what is important. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So again, I would like to thank this Vishaka and Ashish for arranging. So we'll see you again the next time. Fine?
Sure. So there's one question.
Yes, yes, yes.
What are the conditions where we could see a triple figure ESR?
Yeah, okay. The triple figure years are happening only in three main conditions. One is tuberculosis, second is collagen vascular disorders, and third is malignancy. Okay. So these are the three conditions in which a patient can have a triple figure ESR. So that is why in malignancy it is important to keep a track. In collagen vascular disorders, there can happen, and in tuberculosis. For us, practically, the first and last is important. The middle one is important for mainly hematologist, not for actually surgeons perspective. Fine?
All right, sir. Thank you. I'll take the attendance now. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Roll number 1 to 10, just type in your roll
You
numbers
you
and
you keep it with you,
okay.
Ashish, and then you can later on WhatsApp me or whatever.
Yes,
Okay?
I'll message Vanita ma'am. She said she wanted
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. Please, please. Okay. Chalo. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Bye.
Roll number 1 to 10, just type in your roll numbers quickly.